Okay, good morning. I said I have to do this. I'll do this. This could be a very long streaming day because I have to get Golden Sun done, but I'm definitely gonna do this for a little bit. Then I'll start working on that. This video will be released as soon as I get back to my duty station, but I'm not in a big rush to get this done. Like, we'll get this done in a timely fashion. I don't want to cut any corners with this one. That's what I normally do. I don't want to cut corners. I will wait to release a video. I need to make sure it's 100% perfect before I release it. When it comes to editing, scripts, everything has to be perfect before I release it. So, for the past couple of days, I've been really busy with Golden Sun because I need to get that out by tomorrow. So we're about 80% done with it, but I haven't done this in a day. So I'm gonna dedicate at least 30 minutes of work for this. Then when Golden Sun's uploaded tomorrow, when I get back, I'll be focusing on this one and the horror one to get them both released. So just be patient with me, Umineko guys. Y'all get this done. Y'all get this soon. And I just woke up, so I'm tired as fuck. Okay. Where were we? We were talking about trauma doesn't wound, it erodes, it fractures time, blurs memory, forces the brain to bury what it cannot bear to process. Pathless experience on the game board is less a mystery to be solved and more so a physical landscape built from these fractures. The repetition of events, the shifting truths, the recurrence of symbols and faces, it all mirrors the trauma, the way trauma lodges itself in the mind, not as a clean narrative, but as a loop of unresolved emotion. Where the hell were we talking about? All right. Oh, okay. If I remember correctly, we were talking about, oh yeah, the memory integration thing. Yeah, cause yeah, I confirmed it. So that's where we were at. My coffee's still too hot. So I'll be having that shortly. Okay, memory integration. So. Turns. But again, I gotta keep track on time because I need to definitely get back to finishing that video. Because tomorrow I'll get it done today. I'll do the final reviews, make sure everything's good. Then by tomorrow evening, I'll upload it. Impairs memory integration. Wow. Well, we're totally gonna ignore that. It separates experience. Experience from context. This. Yeah, don't mind me. I think aloud. So if it looks like I'm talking, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just like talking to myself. You cannot reconcile. What's this structure? What's this structure? That was a very emotional person. He clings to logic because it promises structure, but emotion bleeds through every frame of the game board. In psychological terms, trauma impairs memory integration. It separates from context. It separates context, emotion from logic. I gotta reword that. It separates experience from context, emotion from logic. It separates experience from context and emotion from logic, and Battler's reality reflects this. He cannot reconcile what he sees with what he feels. He clings to logic because it promises structure. Emotion bleeds through every frame of the game board. He clings to logic because it promises structure, but emotion bleeds through every frame of the game board, threatening to collapse that structure at any moment. Okay. This is kind of cognitive dissonance in a sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We can get that to work. All right. We got like 20 more minutes. Then definitely got to wrap this up. And again, once I get back, I'll be on this for probably just only this for a bit. Horror again's gonna get done, and this is gonna probably be the second video I release, because horror's at the end of the script. Yeah, it's at the case study, so that would be released first, then this will be released. Then this is gonna be we'll have to figure out what the next videos are gonna be. Haven't really figured it out yet. Yeah, I'm not even bothered with the next batch of videos. I'm like, yeah, let me just get the 3 projects I'm working on done, then we'll figure out what I'm going to do later. Cognitive dissonance. We meet again. It's not like I talked about you in the last video. I cannot spell right now. It's cognitive dissonance in its rawest form. So in Battler's case, he insists. Explanations. This is kind of give me a second. You explain on explanations. I want to write something, but I know the moment I write it, a rabbit hole's gonna open up that later on I'm gonna have to explain thoroughly. And this is what makes Umineko Umineko videos hard, because I personally don't like delving into speculative territory just because rabbit holes open up. Lots and lots of big rabbit holes open up. Because as we know, Umineko technically doesn't have a canonical route. Well, The truth is buried. The people that know the truth are the devs and Beatrice's voice actress. All of us have to just go with speculation and theory. I'm looking at you, Yasu fan guys, or Shikanon. God, Shikanon just when I was a wee lad, and that got brought up to me, I'm like, God damn, you're right. I don't remember ever seeing them in the same room together. Oh man. Or the Rosatrice one. Rosatrice is that's an interesting one. I go off the fact that because of Rosa's business and the fact that she does share. Rosa's funny. Like if you really wanted to, you could style Rosa's hair to look exactly like Beatrice. Because Rosa has the Hime cut, and Beatrice, if her hair down, literally looks like, yeah, that would look exactly like Rosa. Again, I'm getting into speculative territory, which I don't like getting into because rabbit holes get opened up and all hell just breaks loose. So that's why I'm trying to not go towards that event horizon, because I'm not going to come back from that. I'm dead as soon as I go over there. So I'll word this in a specific way so I don't have to. I'll get dangerously close, but I'm not gonna cross that bridge. Okay. He insists on explanations. Oh my god. As soon as I get back, I'm gonna get on my other keyboard and go like, ah, shit. I hate this keyboard. And I'll start messing up again. Alright, so he insists on explanation that make no, that make no emotional sense. Yeah, there we go. Make no emotional sense. That's the alternative. Facing the alternative, because the alternative facing is the alternative. He says some explanations that make no emotional sense because the alternative. No. Because the alternative is. What? Yes. Facing else because the alternative is facing what? Reveal. He insists on explanations that make no emotional sense because the alternative is facing what those emotions reveal. Ah, yeah, that's gonna be. I might have to actually delete that. Well, we'll see. Like, we'll see if I get too close to speculative territory, I'll just come back up and delete that. Yeah, I thought so. That's on me. His rational mind. And his emotional. Are in direct conflict. Okay, let's see what we got. Trauma doesn't wound, it erodes. It fractures times, blurs memory, and forces the brain to bury what it cannot bear to process. Battle's experience on the game board is less a mystery to be solved and more so a physical landscape built from these fractures. The repetition of events, the shifting truths, the recurrence of symbols and faces, it all mirrors the way trauma lodges itself in the mind, not as a clean narrative, but as a loop, but as a loop of unresolved emotion. In psychological terms, trauma impairs memory integration. It separates experience from context and emotion from logic. And Battler's reality reflects this. He cannot reconcile what he sees with what he feels. He clings to logic because it promises structure, but emotion bleeds through every frame of the game board, threatening to collapse that structure at any moment. This is cognitive dissonance at its rawest form. He insists on explanations that make no emotional sense because the alternative is facing what those emotions reveal. Oh my god, yeah, that's so close to the event horizon. His rational mind and emotional truth are in direct conflict, and the dissonance corrodes both. Yeah, I gotta be very careful there. So truth becomes each truth. If truth becomes a confrontation, each truth. I know. I'm sorry. I got intoxicated last night. I'm sorry. Each truth becomes a confrontation. Between people are texting me. These halves of self. And as usual, if people want me to do a specific video, just let me know. I do take requests, and requests take priority, because this one a few days ago I woke up, saw there was a comment on the Rosa video. I'm like, okay, cool. Do more Umineko stuff. I'm like, all right, I was planning on doing one eventually, but it's a request, so it takes top priority. So I was only technically working on Golden Sun as my only request, because that's a long-term request, because that's a whole game I'm doing stuff on. And I was doing horror, and the horror one is it's a me project. So I guess I just included this one as another project for me to work on. So yeah, I do take requests. So if anybody has a request, just let me know. 9 times out of 10, I'll probably know it, because I had a very interesting childhood. Let's just say that. I have a lot of information. I was reading a lot, played a lot of video games, watched a lot of anime, delved into theories and lore. But yeah, even now in my quote unquote military career, we're just doing nothing forever, and I'm just reading stuff. Hurry up and wait. Damn, we're in formation for like hour. No, we're waiting for something to happen for like 8 hours. All right, let me just read something. Each truth becomes a confrontation between these halves of self. I can bring up the truths. Yeah, let's talk about the truths. So the blue truth. Blue truth tries to hold the game together. Blue truth tries to hold the game together. The blue truth tries to hold the game together, and the red truth tries to force it open, because red truth is scary. Give me a second. I just gotta try and think of something here. Okay. Hear me out on this. Hear me out. It's gonna make sense in a second. So his mind. His mind, his mind, his mind, his mind, his mind. His mind grows erratic. His confidence. Wow. Okay, his confidence falters. Ladders. His ability. Ability to hold structure together. It's just. The blue truth tries to hold the game together. The red truth tries to force it open. The detective persona clings to cause and effect. The wounded self beneath it only understands grief, and it's not just denial anymore, it's disintegration. His mind grows erratic, his confidence falters, his ability to hold structure together begins to slip. Okay. I want to pause with that. Alright. Let me take this off. Let me just read this. See how this sounds. Trauma doesn't just wound, it erodes. It fractures times. Fractures. I don't need that, but that. That is just time. Fractures time. Trauma doesn't just wound, it erodes. It fractures time, blurs memory, forces the brain to bury what it cannot bear to process. Battler's experience on the game board is less a mystery to be solved and more so a physical landscape built from these fractures. The repetition of events, the shifting truths, the reoccurrence of symbols and faces, it all mirrors the way trauma lodges itself in the mind, not as a clean narrative, but as a loop of unresolved emotion. In psychological terms, trauma impairs memory integration. It separates experience from context and emotion from logic. When Balor's reality reflects this, he cannot reconcile what he sees with what he feels. He clings to logic because it promises structure, but emotion bleeds through every frame of the game board, threatening to collapse that structure at any moment. This is cognitive dissonance in its rawest form. He insists on explanations that make no emotional sense because the alternative is facing what those emotions reveal. His rational mind and his emotional truth are in direct conflict, and the dissonance corrodes both. Each truth becomes a confrontation between these halves of self. The blue truth tries to hold the game together. The red truth tries to force it open. The detective persona clings to cause and effect. The wounded self beneath it only understands grief. It is not just denial anymore, it's disintegration. His mind grows erratic, his confidence falters, his ability to hold structure together begins to slip. The longer the game goes on, the more impossible it becomes. Okay, I like the way that sounds, so... Alright. So, it's about to be 30 minutes. I believe after this, we get into the the mythological parallels. So, if I remember correctly, our mythological parallels were, Psyche and Eros, Yana's descent into the underworld, and Sisyphus and the Phoenix. So, okay, I'm definitely gotta... It's been a bit since I actually went over those, so I'm gonna have to sit down and refresh my mind on them. So that's gonna take me like at least a day. So we got a good amount of work done today. Once I get back on, I'm leaving. Tomorrow's technically my last day here, but I gotta focus more on getting Golden Sun out. So Tuesday I'll come back to this. I should have the myth parallels refreshed in my mind, so we should be good to go. So. Good stuff. I did promise I was gonna get a little bit of this done. We're on the mythological aspect of it now, so we're about halfway done with the script. So be patient, the video will be done soon. Besides that, I gotta go start working on that video. I'll see people later. Have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all later.